I'm Colonel Joseph Hudak, and I'm the Deputy Commander for Clinical Services at Brian D. Allgood Army Community Hospital here at Camp Humphreys. Well, today we are evacuating a pair of premature twins to Walter Reed from one of our host nation partner hospitals in Korea. Now, this is a significant movement because we have a family that needs some care. It's not readily available here in Korea. We have to move them across to the other side of the world, and this is a truly joint effort. This is an Air Force critical care team moving an Army family to a Navy hospital, and we're doing it seamlessly in the middle of a pandemic. So part of this was done by our host nation partners. These infants have been in the intensive care unit since they were born, so their exposure to COVID-19 is essentially zero. As far as the parents, they've been on quarantine for about 3 weeks, and we've also tested them and their infants to make sure that they do not have COVID-19. We finished that testing this weekend before this mission was given its final green light. So while our host nation partners have the capability to care for them, and they do an excellent job, coordinating all the care that these infants are going to need after their discharge from the hospital and over the next several years of their life is a lot to ask of our host nation partners. This is a little easier, a little better done if we have the entire family back in the United States. Today's mission highlights the incredible capability we have in the military health system. There's no other organization that exists which can take a critically ill infant and move it to the other side of the planet without any risk. That's very impressive capability we have.
Yeah, my name is Major Philip Strawbridge. I'm the Chief of the Medical Staff for the 51st Medical Group. So today we're coordinating a joint movement between Air Force and Army assets to take two very critically ill infants to move them across the planet. It's been quite the effort. This involved coordination involving the Brian D. Allgood Army Community Hospital, the 51st Medical Group acting in a supporting role, enabling 18th Air Medical Evacuation Squadron assets to come up here, pick up this child, coordinate with the Theater Patient Movement Requirements Center West out in Hawaii, to take this child all the way to Walter Reed National Military Medical Center in Washington, D.C. So if you look at what we're doing here, it's a pretty big effort involving 2 separate combatant commands and about half of this planet's distance. Well, there's a lot of things that went into play there. First of all, our host nation partners, in terms of what they've been doing to manage the COVID-19 epidemic, has been nothing short of world class. They've really shown how to do it right. And because they've done that, it's well controlled here in this country, and we can isolate the parents appropriately and ensure that these infants were also in a NICU unit that was also controlled for COVID. So we were able to mitigate risk substantially because of what our host nation partners did to manage this pandemic that we're dealing with as a planet. On top of that, we took additional screening measures. The parents were quarantined for 3 weeks prior to their movement, and then we did testing for all the patients before they moved, just as a further added step to make sure that everything was safe to go. On top of this, the Air Mobility Command has put in place mitigation efforts and screening methods that we do on every patient and passenger, for that matter, that's leaving the country to ensure that they incur a low COVID risk moving across the Pacific. Sure. So Brian D. Allgood called us for coordination to let us know that they were doing this movement. We worked with our COVID command center here on base to ensure that we could expedite the screening process through our gates and to make sure that they had pre-screened before they came up here. On top of that, we knew that the infants were in the NICU and well protected from COVID, and the parents had been quarantined for 3 weeks prior. Furthermore, there was testing. So one of the key assets of the American Air Force is the critical care air transport teams that we have, including the neonatal critical care air transport teams. They train to do this, move these patients around the world as one of their core mission sets. They have extensive process and policies to put a flying ICU in the air and to deliver the same standard of care that we'd expect in a hospital.
Yeah, Major Anthony Aceto out of the 18th AES out of Kadena Air Base, Japan. So today we're taking 2 patients back to the States with their family, getting them back to the States during this time of COVID-19. It's pretty amazing how we can work a joint operation between Camp Humphreys, Osan, and also Kadena Air Base. And so we take patients from all the way over the world, getting them to a higher level of care and getting them back home to their families. So I'm a air medical evacuation flight nurse. So we have a NICU team also, and today we take NICU teams all over the world, usually about 2 or 3 a month, if not a little bit more than that. So today we have a doctor, we have a nurse and myself, and we have some air medical evacuation technicians and a medical technician.